Well, that's the problem. I wonder why she wasn't on there. You notice the hearing went to James Bean, which is not Ms. Campbell's attorney anymore. Bethany Espinosa is her attorney. She's not on the conference. So, I'm guessing I'm going to need to reset this. Yeah, she's on this one, but Ms. Espinosa is not on there. Well, I'm wondering if she got busy working on this one. I mean, she usually doesn't miss them though. Wonder if she fired her. I mean, lady didn't strike me as somebody that would just. Oh, wait a minute. There's an Andrew Taylor that might need somebody appearing for her. That's who that is.
You stole it from a friend and hers.
But good afternoon or good morning. The court's going to take up the next case. This is cause number CV1912509A in the interest of John Campbell III, a child. The hearing today is being conducted pursuant to emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court via Zoom video conference. The hearing set today is a permanency hearing after final order. The department is participating in the hearing today through Supervisor Crystal Gillette and Brown County Attorney Shane Britton. The mother of the child is Jennifer Campbell, and she is participating in the hearing today. Bethany Espinosa is her attorney ad litem, or her attorney of record, and Ms. Espinosa, I don't believe, is currently participating in the hearing today. John Campbell Sr. is the father of the child, and he is deceased. Patrick Howard is the attorney ad litem for the child, and Mr. Howard is not participating in the hearing, or is participating in the hearing today. Emily Miller is the guardian ad litem for the child, and she is participating in the hearing. Ricardo Barbosa is the current foster parent caregiver for the child, and he is participating in the hearing today. I would also note on my screen that there's Andrew Taylor participating in the hearing today. Mr. Taylor, could you advise the court your connection with the case, please?
Yes, sir. I'm the case manager with Arrow over the Barbosa home.
Okay. Thank you. And then also show on my screen a Mackenzie Welch. Ms. Welch, could you advise your connection with the case, please?
Your Honor, I'm an associate attorney at McKesson Espinoza. I work for Bethany Espinoza. She just wanted us to log on. She's at the family law conference in San Antonio, but she wanted us to log on and just make sure that Jennifer Campbell was on, and we believe she was hiring another attorney.
Well, okay, I'm going to need to take that up first before we do anything else. Ms. Campbell, can you unmute your device, please? And would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give today before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you state your name for the record, please?
Jennifer Campbell.
All right. And Ms. Campbell, you are the mother of the child, John Campbell III, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, presently, the court file reflects your attorney of record in this case is Ms. Bethany Espinosa. My understanding from Ms. Welch was that Ms. Espinosa's office believes that you may be intending to retain other counsel to represent you. Is that accurate?
No, sir, I'm not hiring another attorney.
Okay. Well, Ms. Espinosa is not present at this point because of a schedule conflict. And so Are you wanting her to be present to represent you before we proceed with today's hearing? If
No,
so,
sir.
okay, so you're waiving the right to have your counsel present for today's hearing.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we'll proceed with the hearing today. I would caution you that you may want to be careful about any testimony you may want to offer today in the absence of your counsel, just to protect your interest. I'm not saying you'd say anything that would adversely affect your interest, and you may not be required to testify in any event, but just need you to be aware of that. Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
thank you. All right, we're ready to proceed. I'm going to ask, I guess, Ms. Gillette, you're going to be the witness for the department. Okay. Can you unmute your device, please? All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give today for the court will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Britton, if you're ready to proceed.
Jane, you're muted.
I'm sorry, Mr. Britton, I think you're muted.
Judge, I will call Ms. Gillette.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Gillette, you are the permanency supervisor. So I don't know the title. What exactly is it? So I can start calling you the right thing.
Yeah, the two permanency supervisor.
Okay. And John, you understand that we're here about John Campbell III,
Yes.
and he's now joined us on video.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Hackney had filed a permanency report dated July the 23rd with the court, and I'm sure that you've reviewed it, probably signed off. Yes, you have. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And as far as you know, that this information is all still true and correct? Yes. Now, the plan has been for a placement with does he go by John Campbell? What's the child go by?
He goes by John Michael Campbell is his.
John Michael. Okay, that's why I was going to call him Michael, and that didn't sound right. John Michael. The plan has been for John Michael to be placed with his brothers in New Mexico. Is that correct?
That is correct. At the last court hearing, it was ordered that an ICPC be completed on Anthony Manelli in Arizona. I'm sorry, New Mexico.
Right. And that, my understanding is that's still kind of spinning in the process to a certain extent.
That is correct. It's been denied twice. The first time was because they couldn't get a hold of Mr. Manelli. They stated that he wasn't returning phone calls. Mr. Manelli reported to us that he was. And so we resent it back to the state of New Mexico. And then since then, an investigation has been initiated on Mr. Manelli's home. And so it was denied again because of that.
And now we have, I'll come find you. We have had, well, I guess we have reason to believe that the investigation may have been initiated for reasons other than a concern about abuse or neglect in the home.
That is correct.
And at least from our perspective, that we have some serious doubts about the validity of the allegations and the subsequent investigation.
That is correct.
Now, my understanding is that John Michael he really enjoys living with Mr. Barboza.
Yes.
And he really, at least for the immediate future, that's really where he wants to be.
Yes.
What is and it's in his best interest. I mean, all of his needs are being met in Mr. Barboza's home.
Yes.
What is the long-term plan of of the department?
Well, I mean, it sounds like Mr. Manelli is at this point not going to move forward with an ICPC. He has made the comment that he doesn't want to jeopardize his own family and reports continuing to be called in on him. So he's kind of on the fence on whether he wants to continue with that. But if he does not, then our plan would be Mr. Barboza has reported to Diane that he's willing to take PMC of Michael.
Has anyone spoke to Mr. Barboza about the possibility of an adoption in the future if that becomes a possibility?
Haven't gone in great depth with Mr. Barboza about what his benefits or anything would be that I know of, just because we were, looking, we were thinking that ICPC would be
Right.
completed.
Right.
Going to New Mexico.
Okay. And that's kind of thrown us for a loop. Oh. Did I lose something? Are you still there, Ms. Gillette?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'd lost the audio, I think, there at the very end, or at least I did. So that kind of threw us for a loop, and I think that everybody certainly sympathizes with Mr. Manelli and allegations made against him and the disruptive nature of that with his family. I can certainly sympathize with that.
Yes.
And so for today's hearing, Mr. Barboza is an appropriate placement. It's in John Michael's best interest to remain in that home. And we're still working on some long-term plans for the child.
That is correct.
Okay, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Howard, any questions?
Sure. Ms. Gillette, I know you said this, but it's your understanding that John Michael wants to stay in the Barboza home, at least in regards to Mr. Manelli.
Yes, that's correct.
And Mr. Manelli is not his father, but is the father of his siblings, right?
Yes.
And he had expressed at least some interest in the past that he would consider taking John Michael, basically, if he wanted to come up there and there wasn't another good place for him.
That's correct.
Okay. But it seems like as we are here today, that it's unlikely that the department's going to move forward with pursuing that placement as in a drastic change in circumstances.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And so is the plan to move forward towards a modification and seeking to give Mr. Barboza a permanent placement, or are we just going to keep things as they are and see how it goes?
Well, right now, I mean, we need to have that conversation with Mr. Barboza before we, confirm that that's actually going to be a plan or not, and explain what benefits are going to be available and not going to be available to him. But I mean, as of today, we're going to kind of just see how things go, and have that plan in place if needed, for sure.
Okay. Well, the reason I asked that is we're at the point now where we have hearings every 6 months. And so I would hope that we would be at least moving in some sort of legal direction sooner than later. Would you agree with that?
I do agree with that.
And Mr. Barboza is a licensed foster home. And so the discussion that you want to have with him or what help and financial and support he would get if he got custody or adoption or anything like that.
That is correct.
And so so he can make an informed decision.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Ms. Miller. In your capacity as guardian ad litem, do you have any questions you need to ask Ms. Gillette?
Thank you. Ms. Gillette, you understand that it is the child's desire to not go to New Mexico, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And that I think has been a repeated topic of conversation in the home between the worker and the child. And that's kind of frightening and destabilizing for the child. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the two kids that are in New Mexico, his siblings or his half siblings are substantially older than John Michael, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And so at some point that would leave John Michael alone in this home with Mr. Minnelli and no siblings, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And that may not be, that's certainly not the child's wishes, but it may not be in his best interest either, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how soon do you think that we could have a conversation regarding longevity and finalizing this case? Do you think that's something that we can do before that next permanency hearing in 6 months?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
And thank you. Ms. Welch, did you have any questions on behalf of Ms. Campbell? Okay, it looks like she has dropped off at this point. All right, I'll come back and I'll ask Ms. Campbell in a moment if she has any additional things she wants to say. But let me make sure they're not in my waiting room. Okay. All right, Mr. Britton, did you have any other questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, any other witnesses department has?
I have no further witnesses.
And Mr. Howard?
I don't have any other witnesses because John Michael's here. I'll say that we've had a discussion about getting your tablet back, John Michael, and my understanding is it's going to come back to you, but there's going to be some rules, okay? And so, but I know you asked for that, and since you're here, I'd let you know that. And I'd ask Miss Campbell she's in possession of that, to deliver that to John Michael or the CPS caseworker at her next visit.
All right, thank you. Ms. Miller, do you have any other witnesses or matters you want to address?
No witnesses, Your Honor, and nothing to address. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Campbell, as I had mentioned to you before, since your counsel is not currently present, you may not want to say anything to the court, but if you have something you'd like to relay to the court today, this would be your opportunity.
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, there was a mention about this tablet. Is that something you'd be able to work out?
Yes, sir. I received a message yesterday from Miss Hackney, but I was not at home. I was at work and couldn't go by and get it. And I asked her if I could drop it by today. And she said she would call me Monday and we would set something up so I could get it to her.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, the court will continue the department as as managing conservator and continue the child in current placement this time. I'm going to order the department to confer with Mr. Barbosa and the other parties in the case and to file within the next month, within 1 month of the day, a statement as to what your permanency plan is. If your plan is to move forward with something with Mr. Barbosa, if you're with them, fine. If your plan is reunification with Ms. Campbell, that's fine. If you're going to pursue something with Mr. Minnelli, that's fine. I just want you to put on record what that position is, and then if anybody wants to request a hearing before our next scheduled hearing, we can do so. But I think the department needs to, at this point, determine which way it's going to go, and I don't really want to wait 6 months for y'all to show up and say, okay, well, now this is what we're going to do. If you're going to go in a certain direction, then I think you need to file minute pleadings or a new suit at some point to request whatever that is. I'm not expressing any opinion at all in what that direction you should go in. But I don't think keeping them status quo long term and being John Michael's interest. For now, the next hearing will be set on February 3rd, 2022 at 9:45 a.m.